The night was quiet in Sector 9. The stars above looked cold and far. Ethan, a young mechanic, sat alone in his small workshop. He was fixing an old power unit when something strange happened. Suddenly, the sky lit up like fire. Boom! A bright object flew across the sky and crashed into the nearby hills. The ground shook. Tools fell off Ethan's table. He ran outside, eyes wide. A long trail of smoke rose from the hill. What the hell was that? He whispered. His comms device buzzed. Security alert. Unknown object crashed near Sector 9. Stay indoors, but Ethan wasn't the type to stay indoors. He grabbed his flashlight, wore his jacket, and left quietly. Curiosity pulled him. The crash site wasn't far. Ethan used his hoverbike to reach the hill. Trees were broken. Smoke filled the air. He walked carefully, heart beating fast. Then he saw it. A small silver pod was half buried in the dirt. It had strange blue lights on the sides and glowing symbols. He didn't understand. The air around it felt warm, almost electric. Is this ... a ship? He whispered. He stepped closer. Suddenly, the pod opened with a soft hiss. Steam rose. Ethan held his breath and pointed his flashlight inside, and there she was. A girl, maybe his age or younger. Long silver hair, glowing skin, strange marks on her arms. She wore a black suit that looked part metal, part fabric. She was breathing, but not moving. Ethan stared. He had never seen anyone like her. Is she alien? He thought. Then she moved. Her eyes opened bright purple like stars. Ethan froze. The girl looked around, confused and weak. No ... not yet ... She said in a soft voice. They'll come ... they'll find me. Ethan stepped back. Hey, are you okay? She looked at him, shocked. You're human? Yeah, he said. Who are you? The girl tried to stand but fell. Don't let them find me, she said. If they do, they'll kill us both. Ethan didn't know what to do. He had a strange alien girl lying in front of him, and soldiers could arrive any minute. But something in her eyes made him decide fast. He helped her up. Can you walk? Not far, she said. My system's damaged. Ethan supported her, and they walked slowly back to his hoverbike. She clung to him weakly. As they drove away, a drone passed overhead. They're scanning already, the girl said. We don't have much time. Back at the workshop, Ethan hid her inside a storage room. He gave her water. She drank slowly, watching him carefully. You're helping me, she said. Why? Ethan shrugged. You looked scared. That was enough. She looked away. You shouldn't have, he smiled. Too late now. A few minutes later, alarms echoed through the colony. Security units deploying. Search in progress. The girl stood up fast. They're tracking my crash signal. Ethan turned to her. Who are you? She hesitated. My name is Kayla, she said. I'm not from your planet. I came here by accident. Accident? Ethan asked. My escape pod was hit. I lost control. Escape pod? From who? Kayla didn't answer. Her hands were shaking. They'll come. They won't stop. I'm not supposed to be free. Ethan looked at her seriously. You're in danger. She nodded. So are you. Suddenly, Ethan's scanner beeped. A red dot was moving toward them, fast. He looked at Kayla. They found you. She looked at the door. No ... not them. That's something else. What do you mean? Ethan asked. Kayla's eyes glowed. Brighter. They sent a hunter drone. A cold wind blew outside. Ethan turned off all the lights. He gave Kayla a small tool to defend herself. She looked at it and smiled weakly. You think this will help against what's coming? He didn't answer. They both stayed silent, listening. Outside, something moved fast through the shadows. Soft hum, like a machine breathing. Then a loud metallic clank. Something was on the roof. Kayla whispered. You should have left me there. Ethan whispered back. Too late now. They both looked at the door as the lights flickered once, then went out. It was dead silent. The lights had gone out. The air inside Ethan's workshop was cold, heavy. Waiting. Ethan and Kayla stood still, eyes locked on the door. Something metal moved across the roof with slow, sharp clicks like claws on steel. Kayla leaned closer to Ethan and whispered, This is not just a machine. It was made to hunt people like me. Ethan whispered back, People like you, what are you? She didn't answer. The ceiling creaked above them. Suddenly crash. A large spike slammed through the roof and scraped across the wall. Sparks flew. Kayla grabbed Ethan and pulled him behind a table. Then dash boom. The wall exploded open. A black drone hovered in the smoke. It had no face, just a single red eye glowing. Long arms stretched out with sharp claws. It scanned the room. Making a strange clicking sound, Kayla stood slowly. Her eyes glowed purple. Ethan gasped. What are you doing? I'm done hiding, she said. With one quick motion. Kayla raised her hand. A soft light formed in her palm, then blasted forward like a wave. The drone flew backward, crashing into the wall, but it wasn't destroyed. It floated up again, moving faster now. Kayla's knees buckled. Ethan grabbed her before she fell. You're too weak. I haven't recharged. Not since the crash, she said, breathing hard. The drone lunged toward them. Ethan didn't think. He threw a wrench at it. It bounced off harmlessly. The drone turned to him, but before it could attack, Kayla pulled something from her wrist, a small cube. She slammed it into the ground. Flash. A blinding white light exploded in the room. Ethan covered his eyes. When he opened them, the drone was gone. Or it looked frozen. Kayla pushed a button on her wrist, and the drone shattered into pieces. Like glass. Then she collapsed. Ethan caught her just in time. Kayla! He shouted. Her eyes flickered. Her skin glitched like static on a screen. He carried her to the couch and laid her down. Her voice was weak. I need energy, my core, running low. You're not human, are you? Ethan asked softly. No. She whispered. But I was designed to be close. Ethan looked at her closely now. Her skin looked real, but under the surface, tiny circuits moved like light in water. One of her arms had peeled open wires and strange tech were visible beneath. Are you a robot? He asked. She opened her eyes. No, I'm not a robot. I'm a hybrid. A what? Part organic. Part machine. I was made, not born. Ethan sat down, confused and amazed. Who made you? Kayla hesitated. People from a place far beyond this system. They're called the Mindcasters. They create life and control it. Why are they after you? Ethan asked. Kayla looked down. Because I ran away. She reached into her suit and pulled out a small cracked data chip. She handed it to Ethan. This has everything. My memories, my mission, my failure. Ethan took it slowly. You're not just hiding, are you? Kayla shook her head. I was sent to do something terrible, she said. But I changed my mind. They don't forgive that. Ethan stood up and looked around. The walls were damaged. His tools were scattered. He had just helped an alien girl destroy a military drone, and now she was telling him the galaxy's biggest secret. Kayla, he said, what happens now? She looked at him with tired eyes. Now, she said softly. Now they send something worse. At that moment, Ethan's scanner beeped again. Multiple signals. Not just one. Kayla sat up slowly. They know where I am. I can't stay here anymore. Ethan nodded. Then we move. But where? She asked. I know some tunnels, old mining routes. No one goes there anymore. Kayla stared at him. You'd really help me? He nodded. Too late to back out now. She smiled just a little. You're strange, human. Ethan grinned. Takes one to know one. As they left the workshop and disappeared into the night, the stars above seemed darker than before. Somewhere far above, other ships were moving, and something was already watching them. The tunnels were silent, but they were not empty. Ethan walked ahead, flashlight in hand. Kayla followed, her steps light, her eyes glowing softly in the dark. The old mining tunnels hadn't been used in years. Dust covered the metal floors, and broken lights hung from the ceiling. The air was cold, still, like it was waiting for something. Kayla looked around and whispered, "This place feels dead." Ethan nodded. "That's why it's safe." But deep inside, he wasn't sure. They found an old control room and decided to rest. Kayla sat on the floor, cross-legged, staring at nothing. Her hand was on her chest over something glowing. Faintly under her skin. Ethan broke the silence. "Is that your core?" Kayla looked up. "Yes, it's what keeps me alive." "But it's draining," Ethan asked. "Can we charge it?" She shook her head. "Not with your tech. My systems need energy from my world or something like it." Ethan sighed. "Then we'll buy time. Keep moving." Kayla frowned. "You don't understand. They're not just tracking me. They're pulling me back." Ethan narrowed his eyes. "What does that mean?" She looked down. "It means the longer I stay free, the harder they push. Eventually, they'll send something that doesn't stop." A low rumble shook the tunnel. Dust fell from the ceiling. Both of them stood up fast. "What was that?" Ethan asked. Kayla was already moving to the door. "It's here." Ethan ran to her side. "What is?" Kayla looked him in the eyes. "Something they call a reaver." Suddenly, the wall behind them exploded inward. A black shape crashed through the metal fast, massive. Angry. It wasn't a drone this time. It was a creature. 7 feet tall. Thin metal limbs. Razor arms. No eyes. Just a silver face like a mask. It let out a high-pitched screech that made Ethan's ears ring. Kayla pushed him down as a blade swept over their heads. The reaver moved like a shadow, silent and deadly. Ethan crawled to a corner. "Tell me you have a plan." Kayla stood tall, eyes glowing, circuits lighting up across her body. "Only one." She stepped forward, hands raised. A blue energy pulse shot from her fingers, but the reaver dodged it. Fast. Too fast. Kayla charged again. She kicked it back. Hard, but it didn't fall. The reaver spun, slashing at her. She blocked it with her arm, and sparks flew. Her skin tore open. Underneath, metal, wires, blood. She winced but didn't scream. Ethan shouted, "Kayla!" She didn't look back. "Stay behind me." The reaver tackled her into the wall. She hit the ground hard. Ethan ran toward her, holding a metal rod. He swung it at the reaver's head. It didn't even flinch. It knocked Ethan across the room. With one hit, Ethan hit the floor and groaned. Dizzy. The reaver turned back to Kayla, reached for her chest. She looked up, bleeding, eyes glowing hot with anger. Then she whispered something in her language, 3 sharp words. Her entire body flashed bright white for a second. Boom! An energy shockwave blasted outward. The reaver flew into the far wall, arms twitching. Kayla crawled over to Ethan. He was barely awake. "Don't die," she whispered. "Not now." He smiled weakly. "I was trying to protect you." She looked at him, surprised. "You idiot." Then she pulled something from her side, a small, flat disc, and slammed it onto Ethan's chest. A golden light spread across his body. His wound stopped bleeding. His eyes slowly opened. "You fixed me?" Kayla was pale. "No, just bought time." The reaver stood up again, damaged but still moving. Kayla stood slowly. "You see now?" She said to Ethan, "They don't stop. They don't care." Ethan looked at her. "What do we do?" Kayla's voice turned cold. "We stop running." She walked toward the reaver. No more tricks. No more defense. The reaver charged. Kayla dodged left then, right then leaped into the air and slammed both hands on its chest. Her core pulsed once, and the reaver froze. She whispered, "You want me back? Then break me first." The reaver trembled then, exploded into pieces of metal, smoke, and silence. Kayla dropped to her knees. Ethan rushed to her side. She was shaking, her light fading. He held her hand. "You're not a weapon," he whispered. "You're a person." She looked at him, eyes full of pain. "No, Ethan, I was built to be a weapon. But now," her voice broke, "I'm not sure what I am." Above them, deep in space, a new signal was sent. Target. Active location. Earth order. Terminate or retrieve asterisk. It started with a whisper, not a voice. Not a sound, but a feeling, something old. Watching them, something not human. Ethan held Kayla close as they moved deeper into the tunnels. Her steps were weak now. She had used too much power in the last fight. Her skin flickered with broken light, like a dying star. She spoke softly, her voice tired. "Something's wrong." "I know," Ethan replied. "You're hurt." "No," she said. "It's not just me. The air has changed." Ethan stopped. He looked around. The tunnel walls were darker now, wet, breathing almost. His flashlight flickered, then died. Darkness swallowed them. Kayla raised her hand and created a dim blue light. Just enough to see Dot, and that's when they noticed. They weren't alone. Shapes moved in the dark, small at first, then taller, crawling on walls, silent, thin, with too many arms. Ethan whispered, "What are they?" Kayla's voice was cold. "Trackers, Shadowborn. The Mindcasters send them when machines fail. Are they alive?" "They're worse than alive." The creatures stayed at a distance, watching, waiting. "They won't attack yet," Kayla said. "They're studying us. They want me afraid." Ethan gripped a metal pipe. "Too late for that." Kayla looked at him. "No, you're angry. Not afraid. That's why they don't understand you." Ethan smirked. "Good." They moved fast now, deeper into the earth. The tunnels became older, more broken. Some parts were flooded. Other parts led to dead ends. In one dark corner, they found an old mining vehicle, barely functional. Kayla connected her hand to it and transferred just enough energy to power the lights. It hummed to life. Ethan climbed in. "Let's ride." As they drove forward, Kayla looked out into the dark. She finally spoke again. "I need to tell you." "The rest," Ethan nodded. "Go ahead." She took a breath. "I was created in a lab deep inside a moon fortress. My mind was programmed, my body grown. I was meant to be a gift to Earth. A gift. A trap. I was supposed to look human. Earn your trust. Then activate a code that would call the Mindcasters here." Ethan stayed silent. "But something went wrong," she continued. "I saw a baby. A real human child. It laughed. And I felt something I wasn't supposed to feel. What was it?" Kayla smiled sadly. "Guilt." The mining vehicle hit something and stopped. Ethan stepped out to check. The floor beneath them was cracked, and something was rising from the ground. At first, it looked like a machine, but then it opened its eyes. 10 of them. A massive creature climbed from the pit, made of stone, bone, and metal. It had no mouth, just whispers coming from its body. Voices, thousands of them. Kayla froze. Ethan stepped in front of her. "What is that?" Kayla didn't blink. "It's a memory eater." "A what?" "They collect minds, they erase people, and wear their thoughts like clothes." The creature tilted its head. Ethan heard a voice inside his skull. It was his mother's voice, saying his name. Kayla grabbed his hand. "Don't listen. Don't believe it." The creature moved closer. Kayla's core lit up, but then dimmed. She was too weak. The creature raised its arm, but before it could strike, a small object hit the ground beside it. Boom! A sharp pulse of sound exploded in the air. The creature roared and fell back. Confused. Ethan turned. A figure stood behind them, a woman in armor full black, with red lights. Human. Or maybe not. She pointed a weapon at the creature and fired again. It vanished into dust. Kayla stared. That's impossible. The woman walked forward slowly. Not impossible, just late. Who are you? Ethan asked. The woman removed her helmet. Her face looked like Kayla, older, sharper. Kayla stepped back. You're a failed version. One of the prototypes, the woman smirked. Correction. I'm the upgrade. The cave shook from the inside, but not from explosions. It was the tension between two people who shared the same face, but not the same heart. Kayla stared at the armored woman. Her voice was calm but sharp. You're one of them. The woman smiled coldly. Correction, I was. Now I'm something better. Ethan stood between them, confused. What's going on? Kayla didn't blink. She's a prototype. One of the first versions made by the Mindcasters. Too unstable. Too dangerous. The woman nodded. That's true, but guess what? Unstable doesn't mean useless. Her eyes glowed red. And unlike you, I didn't run away. The woman stepped closer. I followed my orders. I did what I was built to do. You failed your mission. You bonded with a human. She looked at Ethan like he was a bug. Is that your big rebellion? Falling in love with the enemy? Kayla's face turned cold. I didn't fall in love. But her voice cracked, just a little. The woman smirked. You sure? Suddenly Kayla pushed Ethan back. Go. Now. Ethan refused. I'm not leaving you. Kayla snapped, louder this time. I said go. I don't need protection. The cave shook again, this time from above. The ground split open as a giant clawed beast dropped from the ceiling. Tall as a building. Roaring like thunder, the prototype jumped out of the way. Kayla stood still. Ethan grabbed her arm. Are you crazy? You'll die. Kayla pulled away. Good. Maybe that's what I deserve. Ethan froze. What are you talking about? She didn't answer. Instead, she ran straight toward the beast. Kayla leapt high, her energy core flashing. She slammed into the monster's chest with a sonic blast. The beast roared, stumbled, then smacked her down like a toy. She hit the ground hard. Ethan yelled, Kayla. She rolled over, bleeding, body glitching. The prototype landed beside her. Shook her head. You can't win like this. You're emotional. Weak, Kayla coughed. Then help me. The prototype raised her blaster, but aimed it at Kayla. I don't help failures. She fired, but Ethan tackled her at the last second. The shot hit the wall. Kayla stared in shock. Why did you do that? Ethan shouted back. Because I do need you, and you need me. The beast roared again and charged. Ethan looked at Kayla. I don't care what you were made for. You're not a weapon to me. Kayla looked away. I told you. I don't need protection, Ethan smirked. Too bad, because I'm already protecting you. The beast's claw came down huge. Deadly. Kayla jumped onto Ethan's back, suddenly light and fast, clinging like a monkey. Drive me closer. She shouted. Ethan didn't ask questions. He ran toward the beast. Kayla powered up her arms, energy burning bright. Closer. Ethan sprinted through the dust and fear. Now. Kayla leapt off his back, spinning through the air. She slammed both fists into the beast's head. Boom. The monster collapsed in a wave of dust and fire. Silence. Ethan coughed, brushing dirt off his face. That was insane. Kayla walked back slowly. Her body flickered with sparks. Her voice was softer now. Thanks for the lift, he smiled. Told you, you needed me. Kayla looked at him for a long second, then whispered, Maybe I did. Behind them, the prototype rose again. Half her face burned. She stared at Kayla with something close to respect. Or maybe jealousy. You're stronger than I thought. Kayla stared back. I'm not finished yet. The prototype tilted her head. Then prove it. The next door opens in 2 hours. After that, the mindcasters themselves arrive. Enfin frowned. What door? The prototype pointed upward. A strange symbol glowed above the cave wall, spinning slowly in the air. It leads to the surface, she said. And the last chance to end this. Kayla took Ethan's hand, this time without pulling away. We move together now. He squeezed her hand gently. No more running, she smiled faintly. No, just one last fight. Asterisk, sometimes the truth doesn't scream. It whispers. And it hurts more that way. Kayla sat in silence. The cave was quiet now. The beast was dead. The prototype had left without a word. Ethan sat nearby, watching her. He could tell something inside her had changed. The fight didn't just break her bones. It broke something deeper. She wasn't speaking. Not yet. Finally, Kayla whispered, "There's something I haven't told you." Ethan leaned in. What is it? She didn't look at him. Why I was made, what I was really built for, Ethan blinked. You already said it, to destroy Earth. Kayla shook her head. No, she said. That was only the surface program. The real mission was worse. She stood up slowly, placing her hand over her core. When I reached Earth, I was supposed to copy everything, your tech, your biology, your thoughts. Ethan frowned. What do you mean, copy? I mean absorb, Kayla said. Download the entire human experience. Then send it back to the mindcasters. They wanted to learn from us. They wanted to replace you. Use your own culture against you. Build perfect infiltrators. You would never know what hit you. Ethan went cold. So you're a spy? Kayla's voice cracked. No, I was the prototype of something worse, a species thief. She pulled out a small chip from inside her arm. It glowed faint blue. Ethan stared at it. What's that? Kayla looked at him with sad eyes. It's you. He froze. What? Your voice, your habits, your history. The first few days I met you, I was still recording. Your kindness, your laughter. It's all stored here. Ethan didn't know what to say. I didn't stop recording, she said, until I realized I didn't want to finish the mission. She tossed the chip on the ground and crushed it under her boot. Ethan flinched. You destroyed it. Kayla nodded. I didn't want to remember you as data. Silence. Then Ethan stood. And now? Kayla looked up at the glowing door above. The cave, the strange symbol was pulsing, getting faster. Now I go in there, and I shut it all down, for good. Ethan asked, what's in there? Kayla's voice dropped to a whisper. The signal core. The command that calls the others. If I destroy it, they can't find this planet again. Ethan stepped forward. Then I'm going with you. Kayla shook her head. You can't. The door only opens for me. It's coded to my DNA. Ethan grabbed her arm gently. Then I'll wait right here. Kayla finally smiled. You're stubborn. He grinned. You think that's a human trait? No, she said softly. I think that's an Ethan trait. The stone wall began to shift. The symbol turned into a circle of light. A voice echoed, not spoken, but felt. Subject Kayla, return for merging. Kayla stepped toward the door. Her voice was strong now. Not today. The door opened. Inside, a long tunnel of light and glass. Floating screens showed images, Earth cities, forests, oceans. Ethan's face, all recorded. Kayla walked alone. As she moved deeper, she saw something strange. Herself. Copies of her, hundreds of versions, suspended in tanks. Some were broken. Some were alive. One opened her eyes. Kayla stared in horror. I'm not the only one? A cold machine voice answered. You were the successful version. The final one. All others are stored. Kayla gritted her teeth. She walked to the core, a spinning ball of light surrounded by dark wires. Her heartbeat cinched with its pulses. She raised her hand. Her body froze. The machine spoke again. Final command. Merge with source. Fulfill design. Kayla screamed. No. But her body wouldn't move. Her arms shook. Her skin glitched. Suddenly. Voice broke through. Kayla. It was Ethan. From outside. She felt it not just in her ears, but in her memory, her circuits, her soul. And that voice overpowered the command. Kayla broke free. She grabbed the core. Tears in her eyes. I'm not your tool, the machine shouted. You will destroy everything. She smiled. Exactly. She pulled the wires. Everything went white. Outside the cave. Ethan waited. He heard the boom. Saw the flash. Then silence. No door. No light. Just cold air. He stood there. Still, heartbreaking. She was gone. Or so he thought. Until he heard footsteps. Turned. A glowing figure walked out of the mist. Alive. But different. Glowing brighter, calmer. He ran to her. You did it? She nodded. They're gone. I deleted the link. Ethan smiled. You came back. She looked at him. I told you I didn't need protection. Then she leaned her head on his shoulder. But I still need you. She saved the world. But peace didn't follow. It got quiet. Too quiet. For 3 days after Kayla destroyed the signal core, nothing happened. No mindcasters. No drones. No monsters. Just wind. And silence. Ethan brought her to a safe house far outside the colony. She barely spoke. She sat near the window for hours, watching the sky. Something inside her had changed. One evening, as the sun set, Kayla finally spoke. They're still out there. Ethan looked up. But you destroyed the signal. They can't find you. Kayla shook her head. That was only one signal. A piece of the machine. The real network is waking up. Ethan frowned. I thought we had more time. She stood. Her voice was calm but heavy. We don't. That night, Kayla showed him a star map. A strange red point blinked at the edge. They sent something, she said. Not a drone, not a creature. A judge. A what? Every mindcaster. World has a final protocol. If a weapon turns against them, they send a judge. And what does it do? Kayla met his eyes. It doesn't kill. It erases everything. A storm rolled in the next day. The sky turned black before noon. People in the colony felt it. They didn't know why, but fear grew like fire. Communications went dark. Screens glitched. Power shut down. Then something appeared in the sky. A giant red ring, floating, spinning, watching. It made no sound. But people screamed anyway. Kayla stood outside, hair glowing in the wind, and whispered, "They found me." Ethan ran to her. "We'll fight it." She looked down. "You can't." "Yes, I can." "We can." She turned to him, eyes glowing, heart breaking. "There's only one way to stop the judge," she said. "I have to go to it." Ethan's voice cracked. "And do what?" "Merge with it. Let it read my code. Let it judge me." "And if it finds out what you did?" Kayla smiled sadly. "Then I don't come back." The sky tore open. A beam of red light fell from the ring straight into the forest nearby. The ground shook. Trees burned. Kayla took a deep breath. "This is the choice I was built for," she said. "I was made to destroy life, but now I'll use that same code to protect it." Ethan grabbed her hand. "I'll go with you." She shook her head. "No. You're the reason I changed. That's why I have to face it alone." They stood for a moment, silent. Kayla leaned forward and pressed her forehead to his. "If I come back," she whispered, "I want to learn how to live." Ethan held back tears. "Then you better come back." She stepped into the beam, lifted into the sky. The ring swallowed her, and she was gone, inside the ring. There was no color. No sound, only memory. The judge spoke not in words, but in images. It showed her every order she disobeyed, every law she broke, every line of code she rewrote. Then it asked her one question: "Are you human?" She answered with no fear. No, but I want to be. The ring pulsed dot, then cracked dot, then burned dot and disappeared on the ground. Ethan stood alone beneath a clear sky. Minutes passed. Then a flash. Kayla reappeared in the field. Falling from the sky, wrapped in light, Ethan ran to her and caught her just in time. She looked up at him, eyes human, soft, real. He whispered, "You're back." She smiled, weak but free. The judge saw my heart, and it let me go. Later, at the edge of the old tunnel, Ethan carved something into the wall. A single line. She wasn't built to save the world. She chose to.